for some people to join. June 2nd.
Behind, I apologize. Don't yell at me. Crazy world that we're living in. Obviously, we all see it. I know a couple people asked us to go live, and I guess we'll just kind of touch up on what's going on. And yeah, so Stefan, do you want to get into it? I guess you can start.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead,
I'll
please.
piggyback off you because you're the. You're
How many people are on?
10.
10 people. What up?
Brother just joined.
My brother? Ron Bond.
Ronnie B.
It's I don't know why people are asking us to really comment on this, but we'll go about it. I mean, I'm pretty angry about it, and I've always been that way. I think that, well, my brother's on, so he can relate. We've been dealing with this shit forever, longer. I think what a lot of people don't know about me specifically is that, yeah, we grew up on the west side, but we've also been very fortunate to grow up in the suburbs. I graduated high school from Williamsville North. I've been able to be around all demographic my whole life. And we've been able to see so many crazy things, and growing up in Amherst too, as a black kid, man, that shit was horrible. I'm not going to sit here and go through all my experiences because I feel like enough people do that. This whole blackout thing today, I don't know what everybody's doing, but I mean, I'm not blacking out. I've been black my whole life. We've been dealing with this same stuff my whole life. So we're out still promoting the business because that's what we do. It's an unfortunate. You know what Buffalo needs? Man, Buffalo needs a movement, man.
I mean, I don't even think just Buffalo. I think
well, I'm only
United
speaking on
States.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I think
like,
the United States needs a movement.
need a movement, man.
I think that's what's happening. I think
You need some people that are gonna really step up and really speak their minds. And Instagram is Instagram. Like the shit that we post on Instagram is the same talk and walk that we walk every single day. We don't change it at all. We are what we are. We don't sugarcoat anything. Like that was the point of starting up this business, is to keep it real with people. Like with all due respect, I've seen more Black Lives Matter posts in the last 48 hours than I've ever seen in my whole life. Like let's not forget about Kaepernick. Let's not forget about those things that were taking place and people had a problem with it. And now, I got more white friends than I've had in a long time, and I think that's unbelievable. I think it's great. I love the love that we get from What's Popin' because, it's a family. We trying to start a family here. Our customers become our family. But at the same time, I was preaching this stuff in the beginning of our wine dinners, when our wine dinners first started. Why we opened up the store where we opened the store. The pockets that are being missed in the city. We don't take enough time to realize that. We associate everything drug-related, violence-related. Like, all I know is violence. Sometimes you're just brought up that way. I don't know another life. So when you meet people and you interact with people, you're supposed to get to know people, not judge them based by how they look or how they talk or where they come from. At the end of the day, we're all the same. I just think that the whole situation is out of hand. We're not going to shut down the store. We're not going to board up the store. I'm not going to, we're just going to keep on moving like we've been moving. And, we're going to hope for the best. Do you think?
Yeah, so, obviously I'm the kid that grew up in the suburbs, the white kid, privileged, right? I think every person that's born white, you're privileged. Like naturally, no matter if you want to say there's no such thing, it's real. I don't walk into a store and people, are sketched out by me. I don't walk by cars and people lock their doors, but, it happens every day. And I think to touch on the whole Kaepernick thing, it's just funny to me because ever since all that happened, I've been a huge supporter of Colin Kaepernick. I thought it was great that he used his stage, and I thought it was funny that all these people laughed at him and told him to get out of the game and move out of the country because he doesn't like it. Well, we seem to forget that white people brought black people here, and black people were forced to build this country for free. And for hundreds of years, we've oppressed black people and now you're mad because more people are mad because they're looting and rioting. Well, guess what? This is the comparison I've made with this is, when you're talking to someone, right? Say you're talking to your significant other, and they're not understanding, they're not listening. What's your natural instinct? You yell louder. That's your natural instinct. Well, hey man, we tried to do it peacefully, right? Like it's been peaceful, but nobody wants to be peaceful. There always has to be an issue because we want more people, we want more minorities dead than alive. Like let's be real. That's real talk, right? Like police brutality isn't something that just popped up out of the blue, right? This has been Rodney King.
Yeah, man.
That was in '92, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. A few months ago, I was with Dave, and I got pulled over right up the street from the store. And, I understand, like, where we are in the neighborhoods and whatever, but, these police officers sometimes are just way too hostile. Way too hostile. Like, routine stop, they pull me out of the car, they want to know where the drugs are and all that. No drugs. And they don't believe that I own what's popping. They don't believe that the car that I'm driving is mine. They don't believe, and this is right here in Buffalo. This is just right here from the store. And it's unfortunate that it has to be that way. But I also understand, in a sense, why it's come to that. I get that. But I see the big picture. For me, it's about my children. It's about my kids being able to see all demographic. My children live in the suburbs. And I live in South Buffalo. I want my kids to be able to see all demographic. They understand how fortunate they are. They understand different walks of life. They're able to see certain types of people, and they see all those people because they'll become more well-rounded, in the end. And it's sad though when, my daughter especially, is biracial, and I have to explain to her why she's the only black girl in her class. And why she doesn't look like all the other girls. That's horrible. You should never have to have those kind of conversations with your children at that kind of age. My 10-year-old, I got to talk to him about, why the streets are the way they are. And I got to teach him that, the hustle is real. This is what it is. Not to cut Dave off, but every day of my life, my head is on a swivel. It's always been that way. I hustle every day. We make sure we get the job done, but I'm always nervous. We're doing deliveries now, guys. Like, we do deliveries, and now we go into these neighborhoods that I even grew up in. We're out in Clarence. We're in these major neighborhoods, and I'm nervous. I shouldn't have to be nervous. We shouldn't have to feel that way. You know what I mean? And all we're trying to do is work hard every single day. Make sure we crush it out. I mean, What's Poppin' Gourmet Popcorn has made a lot of noise in Buffalo. And we're still going to keep making that noise, But I'm not going to follow down this path because people want to see it this way or they want to see it this way. We've gotten this far because we did it our way. We're doing it the way that we call it. We call the shots. I'm sick and tired of being a part of businesses or my past careers as a chef and having to listen to other people tell me how I'm supposed to work my life. And I realize now, as a kid, I used to wear, my brother, if he's still on, I used to wear suits. My mother used to make us wear suits to all our job interviews. And she always said that, you have to make a first impression. We'd always wear those suits to those job interviews. I look back on that now, man, them suits were bullshit, man. It didn't really do much, We came back around to the same thing. We're dealing with the same thing. And now we're out here doing it our way, and we're catching more noise than we probably would if me and Dave were standing outside in a suit and tie and trying to impress, That's what it is. It's very unfortunate and it's very sad that we are where we are. But I do shout out Buffalo Development, by the way, for showing us love, as a black owner and white owner. Me and Dave set this store up with Austin on purpose. If anybody's been to the store and you walk in the store and you see how beautiful it is and you look at me and Dave and you're in your head, you're like, man, this shit don't add up. We did that on purpose. We did it on purpose. I knew that if I was going to open a store by my lonesome, there may be some problems with that. We knew that putting this store on the west side of Buffalo, we were going to have people that questioned it. We knew that we didn't want to be on Elmwood, no knock on Elmwood. We knew we didn't want to be at 5 Points, no knock on 5 Points. We wanted to create our own movement. And that's what we're doing. Slowly but surely, that's what we're doing. And anybody who wants to jump on the wagon really should, because we can't fail. This business can't fail. With everything going on around us too, it should really open the eyes of all the other business owners that have been at least over here on the west side all these years and step your game up. You know, because we really need to all come together as one collaborative group of people.
I think that's
and create something beautiful over here. But you know,
it's just life in general.
I think
like,
time will tell.
It's sad to me that we still have these issues. Like, you know, people. It blows my mind. And I come from a family of law enforcement. Like my dad, my uncles, like law enforcement everywhere. So, you know, I'm sure my family is hating how I'm talking about this. But you know what? I really don't care. I don't care. You know what people have to say. You know, this is something that, you know, it's real, and you know, people want to try to, you know, slide it aside like it's not, and they try to, you know, well, you know, I get the protests, but you know, these buildings. Well, how about, hey, it's a shame that all these black people are dying, you know, and you know, businesses have insurance for a reason. A brick through the window, you know, is insured. You know, Target getting looted, Walmart getting looted. Guess what? Those are billion-dollar corporations. Like, they will bounce back. I promise you. A black life, any minority life,
you know,
that's not coming back. Choking dudes out on the street because of an assumption. Yo, what's the old thing about assumptions? Make an ass out of you and me. Well, we just, you know, last week we saw four assholes assume over a fake $20 bill that they assumed was a fake $20 bill, and they killed a man over it. And that's what this is about. This isn't about one man. This is about the hundreds, the thousands that we've lost because of it. And it's just sad that it's still going on, and people are so fucking naive about it, and they don't want to admit it. And guess what, guys? It's real. It is real. And in the back, as a white person, in the back of your head, you walk in somewhere and you see a minority, automatically you have a thought. And why is that? Because generation to generation to generation, we've been taught that. It's a generational thing. Racism isn't something you just pick up and you learn. It's a generational thing.
It sure is.
Our parents had it, our grandparents had it, our great-grandparents had it, our great-great-grand... Since we brought black people over here to build this country, it's been a thing. So, you know, I get it. You're mad about, you know, the vandalism and the looting. And, hey, I don't agree with it, but guess what? I don't know what's going on in their head. I don't know what it's like to be oppressed for hundreds of years and not have my voice heard. And you know,
I will say, how many people are on here?
14.
14? What's up? You know, I'm angry. I'm like the typical angry black man. You know, I'm angry with where with the things that have happened in my life. We all have regrets. We all, you know, we learn from our mistakes. But I do feel like I've definitely been disrespected many times. But I will say this: the unicorn post that I posted today, real quick. Posted a unicorn post today. Check it out. You know, you got this girl out in New Hampshire that works with unicorns at this like place, and they dress them up. And I just thought it was amazing that she ordered the unicorn to feed to the unicorn. I thought it was beautiful, right? Well, we had a lady post on that a comment on that post, and she said to me that at this point in time, you know, essentially that we were self-promoting and that we need to take this time to listen and learn. And my response back to that was, I've been black my whole life. I don't need to take time to listen and learn. You know, I'm in the same situation as all these other dudes. You know, we got the homies on 19th. If anybody knows the West Side, you know, these boys are out here every day grinding, going hard every single day. We don't respect them. We don't ever stop and ask them, hey, what do you guys do outside here? You know, some of these guys got full-time jobs, kids, the whole nine. We never question about that kind of stuff. We never actually get into the mind of a real hustler. You know, and that's the problem here, is that like we don't take enough time to learn from the OGs. As I was coming up, you learn from your OGs. You know, and when you got to the knowledge and you gained that respect, then you became an OG. You know, we've lost sight of that. You know, and that's a major problem.
Yeah. And you know, it's you walk around Wegmans and you see, you know, John and Betty from 4 streets over, and you have no issue talking to them, but you know, you see a black dude and his son, and you're afraid. You're taught to be afraid. That's the issue. That's the issue.
We'll cut this in a minute. But you know, I was talking to Dave. Dave was the one who told. Dave, first of all, like knows all this stuff. He's very. I call him the Facebook sniper. You guys should follow Dave on his Facebook and Instagram and really check his stuff, because it's real, raw, and uncut. And I will say, you know, we heard about the guy driving around in the U-Haul with the gun and shooting people. You know, which to me, and everybody was like, oh my God, get in your house. There's a guy out on the loose. shooting people in a U-Haul. I gotta tell you, like, I felt safe. That didn't really affect me because, you know, it's good to know that somebody's out there driving around in a U-Haul. At least I know if I see the U-Haul, I'm gonna go the other way, right? But if I'm sitting at a red light, I don't know who's holding.
Right?
I don't know who's holding, and some people might not understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know if the guy behind me is holding. I don't know if the guy sitting at the corner is holding. That's what I mean by your head is always on a swivel. If you came up in violence and you came up in these situations, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know what it's like to have a roses and bubbles kind of lifestyle. I don't know. I want one. At some point, that's why we do what we do. We want to succeed. We want our children to not have to live the life that we live. So for somebody to tell me that I shouldn't post because it's Blackout Tuesday, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding. I posted more today for that reason. You know, I'm not following in the footsteps of other people.
Same
you know,
way we grinded when Corona.
Yo, we had a lot of people say that this business can't work, and anybody who's heard me talk, man, I say it all the time, and I always say it. For the ones who thought this place was gonna be a barbershop, for the ones who thought we were only gonna last a couple months, man, look at us, man. Look at us, and if you don't see us, follow us. We're all over the country right now. You know, we're not boasting about that because we put in that work. We put that footwork in. That's that grind life. You know what I mean? Like, people need to understand that, and it's unfortunate when you got dudes that do that and they get caught in the crossfire.
Yeah,
you know,
I guess I'll leave it at this. Just be a better person. Don't look at someone and because they have tattoos or piercings or they look different, you're gonna judge them off that because that shit's fucked up and that's for the birds.
Hell yeah, my brother still on? Yo, Ramban, real talk, bro. Like, if our father would have loved us and hugged us and threw the ball around with us and spent that real quality time with us like a father should, because that's what I do now for my children, do you think we'd be the same we are now? I don't think I would be, Ramban. I think I'd be a completely different person, but I live in the past and I dwell on all that because you see this now. Where was everybody when social media wasn't around,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
I was getting pulled over in Amherst just to ask where I was going. You know, I married my high school sweetheart. I'm divorced now, but I married my high school sweetheart who was a white, blonde, blue eye from Amherst. And we had a life together. And we have 3 children together. And now she's a single white mother raising 3 children, biracial, and I'm raising 3 kids, biracial. You know, like, nobody can talk to me about, well, you know, you grew up in the hood, so you really don't know what it's like. Well, not really, you know. It's the same kind of hustle for a poor black man. No matter where you are, all you want to do is succeed and hustle and work as hard as you can to live the life that you didn't live. You know, and sometimes you make mistakes along those ways. And as a grown adult, I have learned that. You know, and now I'm back here on the West Side. We have a business, and we're starting from scratch. I want to give my children the best life they possibly can. So no, I am not focused on Blackout Tuesday. Every morning when I get up and I see my little homies, I'm focused on them. I'm focused on D. I'm focused on the business. We have Austin who helps us. My brother Ramban who's in on it. It's so much more. I can't take the time out to dwell on another brother, right? Because it happens every single day. Every day somebody's getting shot up. Every day somebody's ODing. Every day we got crackheads out here on the corner asking for change. Every day we're talking to the drunks walking around like, yo man, you should change your life. We introduce this business to all walks of life. You know, we don't cater to one demographic. We do it for the kids. We want the kids to understand that if they work hard and they hustle, they won't have to fall into this. They won't have to fall into the streets. They won't have to do those things. Like, we want to be big time motivators. And we're waiting for somebody in Buffalo to see that and come and approach us and say, yo, man, I feel what you guys are doing. Let's start that movement. How do we start that movement? You know, and now we have little homies with us and we're plugging and we're really trying to like pull something together here. But, you know, with all this that's going on, you would think that like this would be the opportunity. This is the time right now that we start some sort of movement here and we really rep for each other, white, black, everybody. You know, this is such a diverse neighborhood. We shouldn't even have these kind of problems. I could go all day with that, though. I could go all day with that.
But I had someone tell me that you always got the people that hop on and, you know, they throw their stats around and, well, police brutality in the last 10 years has gone down more than in the last 30 combined. Well, why is that? Is it because police are better trained and they care more, or is it because people are starting to record and people are more aware? I think it's the latter. I don't think it's because, there's dirty cops everywhere. Let's be real. There are dirty cops everywhere.
The bad apples?
The bad apples. Where did they get that nickname? It's, Chris Rock said it.
Yep.
There's some jobs that you can't have bad apples. That's like going to Southwest Airlines and, well, we have a few pilots that like to land, but we have a few that like to run into the side of mountains. Right? Like, you can't really do that.
You can't do that.
Serve and protect. That's what you sign up to do. That's what you should do. Not assume something and murder people because you have a badge and you think you're better. Because that badge doesn't give you superpowers. You're just a bully with a badge. That's all you are. Take that belt off and square up with that dude then. And then I guess we'll see. Like, what happens? What happens? Are you still that big bad wolf, or are you just a bitch?
How many are?
9.
9 people. Some of you dipped on me, but that's cool. Like, I want people to hit us up. Keep it real. Hit us up. You got a problem with it? Hit us up. I mean, we don't care, but hit us up. Like, if there's something you want to talk to us about, hit us up. Like, we're so passionate about this thing that I sometimes I feel like we just fall through the cracks, or like people don't take us seriously, or whatever the situation is, but we'll stand up next to the toughest of the toughest and have this conversation. So, I think, all in all, the support that we get from our customers, which I think is amazing, because I will say, meeting our customers the way we do deliveries and being able to interact with our customers through Facebook, and it's amazing. I mean, we have some of the greatest people that reach out to us and show us love, and I'm blown away by that, and we're very thankful for that. And we can't please everybody. I mean, shit, we know that. But we are not trying to just leave What's Poppin' Gourmet Popcorn on the west side of Buffalo. We're trying to take this thing major and blow it out of the water, and we will. I guess on a positive note, that's what it is. But, hit us up and tell us, ask us some questions or whatever. At least the 9 people that are on, spread the word to 9 other people. You know what I mean? And, let's keep it 100 here, and really have real conversation.
Love thy neighbor.
Yeah,
let's leave it at that. Love thy neighbor.
All right, Rambam.
Be good. Be good.